Lockhart is going to be passing out your Canterbury Tales test. I'll make a quick comment or two. I'm going to need you to be listening attentively. So Canterbury Tales test, there were 9 A's, 11 B's, 7 C's, 3 D's, and 12 F's. As you know, and that is after an 8-point curve. As you know, there are not that many assignments for the England work. If you have made it thus far, those of you taking this for core, you are almost done. Like, you will have Macbeth in the early spring, and you've got some movie reviews, but that's it for you guys. The worst is behind you. Also, those who are in honors, you guys have a lengthy novel to read, but I'm giving you double the time to do it. So rather than it being due the next class, it'll be due the class after next to give you like 2.5 months to do your next big novel. So if you pace yourself, you are totally fine. If you've really been focused up till now, I mean, you've got it made. I did hear some rumors of people bragging about having only read SparkNotes for Wuthering Heights. I just have to say, it's disappointing and it's a shame for you. It's not like schmoozing me over. I don't care. The problem is, when we go to the moors in Haworth of England, and we're standing there in the very spot that inspired Emily Bronte to write this work, that's the coolest moment for many people, because all that you just read suddenly connect with an entire expansive landscape, and it's just cool. I mean, that's the one I told you. I had this big old southern truck driving boy who didn't care at all about school, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Zepho, like, I get it. That was really cool," you know? And I'm like, success. Nobody has ever just read SparkNotes and then gone and been like, "I have chills, this is amazing." Because SparkNotes, you don't connect with it. You don't connect with the characters. You don't connect really with the depth of the plot. Those of you that did read it, I think you were brave, and I hope that whether or not you loved the storyline, I hope that you were gratified by one of the most intelligently written works of all time. The complexity of character development. I mean, Heathcliff is not just this flat, one-dimensional villain. I mean, to understand him is fascinating. And as many times as I have read Wuthering Heights, I got something different out of it every single time. If you cheated yourself out of a really fascinating experience, I challenge you to, over Christmas break, to read it, because you need it for the experience. That's the whole point in this. In case you missed it, the whole point is 1 year of a few select studies that then we will visit their places of significance, and light bulbs go off everywhere, and it is such a cooler experience than anything I could offer you in the classroom. So I appreciate those of you that have been dedicated to the work, and I anticipate that the telltale signs will be in your essays. That's the only lecture I'm going to give today. But for the next, I mean, it's easier from here on out. The honors students only will be reading Pride and Prejudice, written by Jane Austen, where Wuthering Heights was not a romance. As you know, it's a Gothic novel, supernatural elements, violence, and all of that. Pride and Prejudice is a romance, but it is more a picture of that era. You just step back in Jane Austen's time, and it's been such a captivating experience for so many people that it is sort of a trend right now. Jane Austen's popularity is at an all-time high. Do you know there are 4 movies coming out in 2016 based on Jane Austen or her works? The first of which you're going to start seeing trailers. I've already seen them kind of coming across Facebook. It's called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I don't know what to think. Part of me thinks Jane Austen would vomit, and part of me, it's like a really bad wreck. You don't want to look, but you can't help yourself. So I may have to see it. if you're into Walking Dead and that kind of thing, I think you would be fascinated by this. So, yeah, Jane Austen's, or Jane and Elizabeth and all their sisters have to start carrying knives in their garters. It's fascinating. Okay, I would like for you to turn your attention to the screen, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of things that are available on It's Learning, because there were some questions about what was due today and lots of emails about where's the movie review. So I just want to remind you how you have access to things. Aside from emails with lots of attachments, I find the easiest place to navigate is on It's Learning. This is the course dashboard for your England work. And notice everything is divided into file folders for the dates of our meetings. So what I do is whenever we're having a meeting, I post sort of the lesson plans, resources, and activities for that date. So if you're missing like the big picture, where are these assignments we're supposed to be working on? That would go back to the very beginning, because that's the first meeting when I introduced everything. So the very first one listed here is September 17th. I open that up and there are 2 things under it that you need to know. Also, if you're keeping up with your portfolio and you have all the handouts I've been giving you, you have a hard copy of this in your portfolio. So, academic calendar, this one, let me show you. It tells you every date, what we're doing that day, and what's due. So for today, you can see Wuthering Heights movie review is due, in-class essay test, and we're introducing Jane Austen. Now watch this, because this is really relevant to all of you, whether you're in honors or not. Our next meeting is on January 9th. Add it to your calendar, because I understand some people forgot we had a meeting today. These dates are not new. They don't come up right close to the date. They've been on here all along. January the 9th is our next one, and there's only one thing due, and it's due for everybody. That is the Much Ado About Nothing movie review. Much Ado About Nothing is a comedy written by William Shakespeare, and this is a 1993 movie, but it's got an all-star cast in it that I think you'll recognize, quite a lot of them. It's well done, and it's funny, like lots of sarcastic puns and that kind of thing. I will offer one word of caution. I don't want you to be mortified, but there's this 1 second where a bunch of guys are jumping into some water to take a bath, and you see their heinies. I figure everyone has one, so it doesn't come as like a graphic surprise. So you can deal with it, you're old enough. Plus, well, it generally happens that when we're in England, we come across the new bicycle parade. So I can't promise that this experience with me will not alert you to some nudity. We're going to try to avoid it.
Wait, there's a new bicycle parade.
It's some kind of war protest, and it always happens the same weeks we're in England. 2 years we've come across it. Like Dr. Tilly by my side, 500 new bicycles.
But Miss Stephanie, what is that?
I don't quite understand the concept.
Wait, you're telling me that it's illegal to that?
All right, let me draw your attention back in. So there's that tiny thing. If you want to opt out, I can assign you another Shakespeare movie to watch. I can't promise it will be as entertaining, but if you're like, I can't see this movie, then you can opt out. I always have something a little more proper if you choose. But Much Ado About Nothing, it'll entertain you, and you'll do a movie review on that. So you know where the movie review is, and you'll do the same thing. There are several of these because it exposes you to the literature that we don't have time to read in class. And in your curriculum, you're only going to see Shakespearean tragedies, 9th through 12th grade here at Mount Perrin. So this is a chance for you to see the lighthearted side of Shakespeare. It's not comedy as in funny, ha-ha, dying with laughter. It is comedy as in everything ends well and happily. That's what Shakespeare considers a comedy.